Okay, we are here with the company of the Whiskey Drinking Bear. We are hunting the wild hart in Mirkwood.
I got a 16 on my hunting.
16 out of hunting. Excellent. Mike, what did you say you got for El Brimborn?
13 out of hunting.
13. You are having a hard time doing it. Thor?
Oh, I got a big eye.
Big Eye of Sauron.
I fell off my horse.
You guys lose the trail and get separated from Ruitho.
Very good.
Make an explore roll to find your way back onto the path.
Okay.
Oh. But I don't, right?
Nope. Well, you might have to help him if he...
Oh, that wasn't bad. 15 with Tengu.
15, alright, so you do make it on out. Sigurd, what did you get?
I got a 4 on my hunting.
4 on your hunting, yeah, you're totally out. As it is just Lorith right now who is still in the game for hunting. This is kind of a process of elimination deal. So the second day, out, go for it.
Everybody again?
Nope, just Lorith.
Just Laura. Okay. I'm back trying to make some mead. I got lost. I found some money.
18 with the Tengu. Lorith has picked up the trail.
Ooh.
The third day out.
And we're in Mirkwood?
You're in Mirkwood. Everybody else make a search roll.
I got a Gandalf.
Automatic success.
I got a Gandalf, a Tango, and 3 points besides that.
Okay, you are still hot on the trail of the White Hart, but it's for everybody else.
I got a 12 in my search roll. 12.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mike.
7 for Elephant
7.
I got a 15 with the Tengu.
Thor, you see a pit which looks odd, and
Look out!
the dwarf in you is like, hey, any minerals down in there or anything? And you see something sticking out of there that looks like an intricately carved piece of wood.
I'll investigate.
You're just gonna jump down into the pit?
No, I'll look down in the pit. What do I see?
I told you. From where you're at, that's what you see.
So I tell her, I tell my comrades, hey, there's a pit over here. It looks interesting. Watch out for me. I'm gonna go take a look.
Okay.
There might be some goodies in here. Being the dwarf that I am, I'll be bold. Is there a place I can get some foothold and make my way down, or?
Yeah, sure. Make a athletics check.
Okay. Do an athletics check. Alrighty. That is a 14.
You see a silvery glimmer in the murky green light. It is the precious bow Penbrago. Its owner is nowhere around.
Uh-oh.
Oh. I shout up to the others. The bow is of Pendrago is down here for some reason. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. You may want to come down and we can search. I'm not the best tracker down here.
Everybody else that's not in the pit, make an awareness roll.
Means me.
Yep.
Is there an exit on it?
What, Ella Brimborn?
He asked if there was an exit out of the pit.
Just the standard climbing out.
Okay.
Oh, my fucking... whatever.
You aren't down in the pit with me, Mike.
5.
I'm calling you down.
You're looking
now.
down into the pit.
I'm in the pit?
You're looking down into the pit.
How did I get here? I was on the trail.
You're on the trail. You're looking down into the pit. The pit's right off the trail.
And where are they? Can I see
They're
them?
standing by you, and Thor is in the pit. Sigurd, what did you get?
I rolled a 3 on my awareness.
Okay, you are staring into a pit. Ella Brimborn?
I
I have Sauron. You are hit over the head and dragged away.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
This is like the opposite of last session.
To me when I yelled up that the bow's down here and to come down.
Sigurd, Lorif, do you go down?
Yeah, I will go
Wait a
down.
minute. If somebody's hit on the head and dragged away, can we make an awareness roll to have noticed it?
You can make an awareness roll. Sigurd, you can make an awareness roll.
I should do so.
23.
Ella Brimborn is missing, and a part of the giant tree that is across from the pit is closing like a door
Hoy!
and
The
latches.
tree! I stick my sword in. Can I stick my sword in to keep it from closing?
You have to run up to it, and you do not get there in time.
They took Ella Brimborn.
Thor,
Who
Ella
took
Brimborn has disappeared.
Into this tree.
A tree took Ella Brimborn?
Yes.
That's not good.
I've heard fables of evil trees in darker dales of Mirkwood, but I didn't know that we had come upon one of them.
The bow is down here. Do I see anything else down here? Do I do another awareness check down here?
There's nothing else down there.
Okay.
Well,
So
I'm
I
sure
grab
there's-
the bow and there's nothing else here I can search for as far as where footsteps or anything else of Ruithel might be.
Make a hunting roll.
Oh. That's gonna suck. A big 8. I could.
You see, with that, you see drag marks.
Drag marks.
Somebody was
Okay.
dragged up the hill.
Up the hill, down in the pit.
Someone was dragged out of the pit.
Dragged out of the pit. Okay. Alright, I'll take the bow with
In the
me
direction of the tree.
and
Yeah, I know how this is
to the
going
tree. Okay, so
Of
then I'll
this-
climb out of the pit.
The same tree that we saw closing.
Yep. Closing, not like a evil tree of the ancient aware tree of the forest, but closing like a door, like a hidden door.
Right.
Oh, okay. You didn't say that before.
Right, that's why I'm
Okay.
clarifying right now, because I see what you
So
were
I
thinking.
start looking for ways, knobs, whatever, knob pressing around, seeing if it will open.
Sure, do the scene from The Princess Bride. Search.
Okay. Search.
Can I search as well?
You can search.
Okay,
You know what? I'll search too. Why not?
good. I got a 22.
A 22, and being a dwarf,
17 with 2 tangoos.
and with the help of Lorith, you find a hidden knob that, when pressed, swings open a door.
And I press the knob. Swing open the door.
Door swings open into a very musty, but obviously by the construction, dwarven-made series of tunnels.
I let everybody know this appears dwarven made.
Well, then we shouldn't have any fear that we won't make it out. We must go forward.
I remind everyone that there have been dwarves in this area building a trail. I'm wondering something amiss here.
Yes, indeed.
Building a trail? Well, what was the point of their trail building?
I think they were trying to develop another road.
They were trying to open the old forest road, the old trade road.
Okay.
I'm trying to help provide funds to them when I can. I haven't been doing that though.
Perhaps one of us should go out and seek out the elves and tell them what's happened. But at least most of us must go forward.
I don't think we have time.
I agree. Let's press on.
Yeah.
Will you lead? You have a good head in these tunnels, I'm sure.
So we will make haste. Do we need light, or is everybody okay?
Can everybody see in the dark?
No.
We'll make a. I'll use my flint. We'll make a.
Some of us cannot.
Are there any things? Are there like holders for torches or anything? Unlit torches along the.
There are braziers, yes.
Okay, well we'll grab a brazier.
Skill and light a fire, and we should
Yep.
be fine.
Yeah, I'll light a torch also.
You enter into a entryway. You see footprints scuttling here and there. And you see a picture. Make a lower row of the crude picture that's drawn on the walls. Everybody can make this lower row. Except Ella Brimborn, who was dragged by it pretty quick.
Yeah.
I got a 14.
This is a picture of the Grey Delve.
Grey Delve. Ooh. 5?
What's the Grey Delve? I got a 16 with Tengu.
18 with a Tengu.
You both know it's the Grey Delve. Thor, tell them what the Grey Delve is.
I recall the Grey Delve is, I thought, where we had either encountered the, was it the shadow of the Licht?
No, the Grey Delve is where Frar the Beardless is trying to trying to reclaim. It's kind of like Moria. It's a dwarven kingdom that was lost. It's in the mountains of Mirkwood.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I
A
see.
while ago. My memory's not that good.
There is a passageway ahead of you, to the left and to the right.
Hey, can we search again for tracks?
Yeah, and the smell of like, has the air fresher? Has somebody passed by, or is it musty? Doesn't seem like it's been
So I
disturbed.
got a 20 with the Tengu.
Search? Is that search or awareness?
That is hunting.
Oh, I
Okay.
didn't search. I was looking for drag marks.
I'll give you search.
I got a Gandalf.
I'll give you search still.
I got a Gandalf and 9 with a Tengu.
It's a crossover area. You see tracks leading off to the left.
Here we go, to the left.
Left we go.
You go to the left, and you come into a 40 by 40 octagon-shaped room, and in it there is a fire and some cooking areas. It's kind of a guard room. Also in it there is a chair, and Ella Brimborn is unconscious and tied to the chair.
Anybody else in the room?
There is not. It looks
But the
like
fire's going.
there's a fire going. It looks like the people that took Ella Brimborn heard you coming and ran.
Okay.
I ready my weapon, and I'll go ahead and approach to cut him free. Check him out.
Ella Brimborn, you remember you're seeing two dwarves tie you to the chair. When you began to kind of come to groggily, they kind of hit you over the head so that you passed back out.
Anybody have any Miravar to give him a mouthful?
Oh, we do, but I'll just do a heal check first. That's okay.
Yeah.
You don't need to. He's just a little groggy from the lump on the head.
I figure that'll wake him up.
I'll give him some of the mead that I made from yesterday.
Mm.
I had something else to do because I fell off my horse right when we started.
Thank you, friends. I was thinking,
You can't make meat in a day.
two dwarves. They hit me on the head
Get started.
and found this location. Thank you for finding me. And that's good meat.
Not if you made it in one day. It's
Yeah, it was a quickie. It was a blend.
Any chance, George, you could put the phone closer to the microphone?
That's really nasty.
Let me jack it up as best I can.
Yeah.
yeah. That's good.
Alright. How's that?
Mike, can you give me a mic test?
Hello? Hello? Can you
Oh,
hear me?
That's
better.
much better.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
much
that's good.
better. Thanks.
Right.
So we've untied Ella Brimbor and
Mm-hmm.
we check out. Let's do a quick search of the room too.
Sure.
Are there any doors?
There is a passage leading out of here to the north.
Well, I for one believe
I got
that
it.
Ruithel is
Search.
probably down here, a prisoner of these dwarves as well. And also, I don't think we can allow dwarves just go around knocking people out on the head and taking them down to this dungeon.
No.
So I recant the story of Frar and how he lost his beard, and it could be Frar that's involved with this, or at least that's my belief at this point in time, or someone that's associated with them could be involved. But we should probably look around and just double check, maybe identify, who these dwarves are. Are there any writings, paperwork, anything, invoices of things purchased?
Not in this room. This seems to be kind of a guard area.
And the only door that's leading is a passage. to
How
the
did
north?
Thrar lose his beard?
How did Frar lose his beard? He was shaven for trespassing on the woodland realm.
Which is probably exactly what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
But you've only got one beard to lose.
Yeah. But he's probably pretty pissed at all elves.
They got his beard shaved. It was
Frar.
Right.
Thor still has a good beard.
Yeah. And now that Radagast is a patron, I've been fond of little sparrows.
And there is a court, so there's a door leading out of here.
All right, we will take the door. We'll move as fast as we can because I think we're worried about our friend.
Door goes about 30 feet forward before it turns to the left.
I guess I'll be kind of trying to be aware for any dwarven type traps that might be laid out.
You think there might be traps in here?
And if this is a dwarf home, I'd be cognizant to look for potentially, secret doors, things of that nature as we're traveling.
Okay.
Okay.
So you
Continue as quick as we can.
you take the turn, and then after about 20 feet, it turns to the right and leads into a trapezoid-like room that is filled with statues, artifacts, furniture, and really nice quality materials. And you get a sense that these are things that they managed to get out of the Grey Delve before it fell.
Okay.
This is kind of their little
There's
Grey Delve
storeroom,
museum.
yeah. Oh, museum.
Oh,
It's kind of a gallery of the Grey Delve.
So it's set up. It's not just all piled anymore.
No, it's set up as in places of honors.
Okay.
Any kind of telltale as far far as inscriptions or anything like that? Is there dwarven inscriptions on things? Or
They're on suits of armor. They're of great dwarves that fought to keep the Grey Delve safe. There are inscriptions about dwarves who fell in the battle, where they're buried. There are books and diaries from leaders of the Grey Delve.
can I do a lore check to see if there's anything of really good value that would be something that I would want to make sure we didn't lose for dwarven culture?
Roll a feat die.
Just a feat die, okay.
Just a feat die.
Reroll. A 3.
Well, I think it's well preserved here, but
I have one of my specialties is old lore.
Mm-hmm.
I do essentially the same thing that Thor is doing.
Okay, roll a feat die.
5.
Nah, if you guys had gotten a Gandalf, there would be something truly remarkable.
Dang.
That's kind of the rule for finding treasure. There is another exit in the southeast, the east, and to the north.
Right.
East and
Can
north.
we hunting roll to see which one might
look
have
like,
tracks?
Distinguishing one direction over the
Recent tracks.
There are it's hard at this point of telling because there are tracks leading out in different directions. Make a
I'm trying to see,
search roll for
I'm trying to
illumination.
see if they, they got what's his face.
Okay.
Face, I saw.
20 on a search roll.
Okay.
That is 22 with a tango.
You're both able to determine that nobody's really gone out to the north.
Okay.
There's to the south, east, and the east. There's an equal number of tracks.
Okay.
Well, if they were
Let's go east. Does that sound okay?
okay, we can always come back.
Okay, you go down the open corridor, and you enter a passageway that tees off going north and south. You can see to the north that it leads after about 30 feet in a dead end.
Okay.
And it branches off going south.
Check the south bit.
I guess south it is.
Okay. It branches off to the east from there. And continues on for about 30 feet.
And
Make an awareness check.
Ooh, got a Gandalf.
Ooh, I got a Tengu in 21.
7.
Got 14.
You guys both grab Ella Brimborn and Lorith before they step onto the stones that would collapse beneath their feet into a pit trap.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Dwarven traps. We must stay vigilant.
Yes, we must. I guess we have to go back.
No, it goes forward. Doesn't cover the
so
whole.
you can go over the traps.
You can go around it.
Okay.
Elbert Warren says, who would do this kind of thing to humans?
Hunting roll to
This is
see
the
if it
dwarf
looks like somebody else has recently
This is
done
a
this
dwarf
one.
This is a dwarf home.
Yep, there's tracks. You don't need a roll
Okay.
for.
Okay.
Orcs are your neighbors, you do traps.
Yeah, I guess.
So you continue on, and it leads into a 40 by 50 room with a huge table and tons of maps laid out of the area of the mountains of Mirkwood around the Grey Delve. Basically, they're plotting how to do an offensive to retake the Grey Delve here.
These are dwarven maps.
These are dwarven maps.
To take it from who?
Does this
From
I'm
orcs.
gonna ask Thor, does this area where we're at, does this look like recent construction or relatively recent construction? Like, is this Is this a headquarters that they recently constructed in order to find the Grey Delve, or is this a part of the Grey Delve?
You're able to tell this is probably several hundred years old.
So new.
It's fairly
brand new. Okay.
Not as ancient as the Grey Delve, though.
Right.
Okay.
It's like the exiles from the Grey Delve built this.
Okay.
And also because the Lonely Mountain was not horribly accessible at that point.
So, can we tell, based on where we're at and where we've traveled, does that match any of the maps that are before us? Can we kind of take a quick look through and see if there's a map that matches up with where we're at?
Where you're going through here, make a lore roll.
Okay. Alright, very nice. 12 and 8, 20 with 2 Tengu.
Oh, I guess I don't need
You are sure there are no maps of this area.
Okay. Alright.
It's all Grey Delve maps.
And
Just based on the maps that are there, if there's one or two that look like they would be, giving us the most information, we'll go ahead and gather those up just so that we have them in case we need them later.
Okay.
This is very disturbing. I wonder what purpose they could have for taking our friend the hunter, the master of arms.
Again, she has a bow, and the bow of her predecessor is the one who had
Yes, it seemed.
laid
But
the gray of his beard.
if it was just for revenge, why not just kill her? But
Yeah, it is unusual. I mean,
in the light of this effort they're making, I wonder what their plan is, if they have some use for her.
we have to hope that she's alive. Obviously they didn't kill Ella Brimborn. They could have, but they chose not to. So
That's true.
what's the age of these maps? Like, are these maps something that someone's been using recently?
It looks like they've been used recently, but they look like they have some years behind them. They look to be older than these tunnels.
Okay.
Right, Mickey?
So I guess let's continue onward. Is there just one door out of here, or?
Nope, there is an exit to the east, to the south, and to the north.
And we came in from
The west.
From the west. Right. Okay. Can we and since the current room's not listed on any of the maps, is there any indication as to the relationship of Mirkwood to the Grey Delve and the deeper side of the Grey Delve? Like, would we be going north, going east, going south?
The Grey Delve is north.
North. Okay.
Is the location of the Grey Delve common knowledge?
Amongst the dwarves.
Okay.
Thor, especially being from Erebor, was especially privy to multiple visits from Farrar the Beardless, who shows up almost annually to the mountain to beg King Dane to put together an expedition to retake the Grey Delve.
Looking at these maps,
collect funds from various sources to help source their search.
if I look at these maps, can I determine where the Grey Delve is?
Yeah, you have no problem telling.
Okay.
Especially with old lore, no problem.
I'm gonna commit that to memory, just in case.
Yep, and those maps will come in handy.
Okay.
So which way do you want to go?
So I guess again we're still looking to see if. I guess let's look for the most traveled.
Most traveled is to the east and to the north.
Oh, there's a door in the north in this room as well?
Well, there's a corridor to the north and a door to the east.
Ah, okay.
which one looks more recently traveled. It's not the most traveled, but the most recently traveled. Since we're on the trail of somebody.
Make a hunting roll. You would say the path to the north.
And that would be the direction I would want to go.
Good. Then let's
So you go about 15 to 20 feet down, and there is a door to the left. And you see that another about 20 feet down, there is another door to the left. And this passageway exits into a chamber at the end of the passage beyond that.
I guess let's listen at the first door. Do we hear anything?
Make awareness checks.
10?
11.
You think you hear rats.
Mm.
I have Sauron.
20.
You hear a growl sound. You think there is a sleeping dragon behind there.
21.
Make a valor check, Ella Brimborn.
Got 21 with a tango.
That's a 16 with 2 tangoos.
You resist the urge to flee this whole area. Lorith, there's nothing back there.
There's nothing back here. Press on.
There could be a dragon.
Alright, let's press on.
Okay, there's another door.
Yeah, we don't want to open up to a dragon. We're looking for an elf.
So listen at that door.
Listen at that door. I got an eye of Sauron this time.
Both these doors are on the left-hand side?
Yes.
I got a 7 on this one.
You got a 7. You won't hear anything.
Yeah, I got that.
Thor, you think you hear something in the black speech.
Black speech.
You think there are orcs back there.
Ah, orcs! I open the door.
Oh.
Matic ready to slay the orcs. I curse them.
There's about a 20-foot corridor leading straight forward to a staircase that leads down deeper into the earth.
Ah. This way. Come.
Do you really think that they'd take her to orcs?
Ah, there's orcs. We're going.
This is beside the purpose.
I go.
Oh, Christ. If we're gonna fight orcs, I have to get my wine. I'll be right back.
You can try to stop me, but I'm going.
Well, it didn't work, so...
I engage my orc lore. Do I see any or smell any orcs?
Strangely, you don't. You actually smell what smells like the forges in Erebor.
Forges. Ah, let's go this way. I carry forward.
Okay. You climb up the stairs and you come into what looks like a kitchen. And a pantry area. 40 by 50 area with cooking pots, bread ovens, and even whole lots of crates full of goods.
Were they making cabbage?
They sure were.
Ah, that's what I smelled. Cabbage and orcs, they all smell alike.
That's bad cooking when it smells like blacksmithing.
And there's a passageway to the south and a passageway to the north.
Okay. I say let's go north, unless you want to check. Those orcs have to be north. They have to be in the Great Delve.
I'm for north.
That's fine.
Okay, you exit out of there north. You enter a corridor. There is a corridor passageway leading to the west, and the corridor goes forward into a room that is lit very brightly by firelight.
Can I do an awareness check?
Sure can.
What's that? 9, so 16 with the Tengu.
16 with the Tengu. It looks like some kind of a forge is in that room over there. You see anvils and hammers and...
Can I tell what they were making?
Not from here.
Okay.
Let's go check it out.
Check it out, yeah.
As you make an awareness check.
Okay. Not so good. 10.
Brainbarn got a 6 awareness.
Okay.
I got a 1.
A 1.
Better than an Eye of Sauron.
So you enter the workshop and find that they're making armor and swords.
Okay.
Looks like they're trying to equip a small army here.
Okay.
It's all dwarven made and made to fit dwarves.
Anything of auspicious make?
Not besides dwarven war materials.
Is the forge still hot, or the...
Forge is still hot.
Seems like everybody cleared out of here pretty fast. They were making weapons. I don't think they would leave these things in this state. Something drew them out.
Drop your weapons!
Whoa.
You aren't
Hey,
getting out of here.
What's going on here?
You're trespassing in our workshop. That's what's going on, laddie.
You know who I am.
Dwarf.
Don't you know who I am?
I don't care. You shouldn't be here.
You should care. I am your patron.
You brought an elf into our area.
If you knew who I was, you would know who this elf is.
I would have had a
Put your
chance
weapons
if I'd had a chance to interrogate him properly.
Put your weapons down as I lower my helm.
Make an
Uh-huh.
awe roll.
Alright. Wonderful. I got a 16.
16?
Yeah.
Thor? Is that you?
Ah, it is. Is that Farrar?
No, Thrall's out trying to recruit others to the cause.
Ah. What's going on? Why did you attack those elves out there that were on the hunt?
We didn't. We just attacked one elf. The elf that shaved Farrar.
That elf did not shave Farrar.
She had the bow. I'll never
Well,
forget the bow.
Yeah, she had the bow, but she was not the one to shave Farrar. She is a friend. Where is she? Release her.
She's in
Release
the
her.
toy
She
room.
She's where?
In the toy room.
Toy room. Get her out of there. Don't harm her.
Make a persuade roll.
Okay. I forgot what my persuade is, but I know it's not great. Yeah.
After since he was talking.
Yeah, big 6.
We're gonna ransom her off to the elves.
No, you're not. I'll use my awe again. No, you're going to release her into my custody now. I demand it. Gandalf with a Tengu.
Ooh.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna roll more and see if there's a fact I know about this land that they probably don't know that would help them, that I can give them to entice them with that to let her go. So I'm gonna roll lore, okay?
Yep.
So far so good. So far so good. 22 with a Tengu.
22 with the Tengu. There's a healthy hoard of gold down in the gallery, in the museum-like area, and there, not too many miles away, is where the dragon of Mirkwood is sleeping. There's a good chance that he's going to sooner, when the breeze is the right way, smell that gold.
If you don't release her now, give her back her bow, and start treating us and the elves with some respect, then I won't help you keep from having your hoard ravaged by a dragon.
Ah, there's no dragon around here.
Oh, nothing but the dragon of Mirkwood, just a few miles away.
It's just a legend.
It's not a legend.
Master Dwarf, if I may, are you aware of who normally carries the bow which you identified?
Aye, the rat bastard elf that's shaved Fror.
Right, but do you know what her office is? Do you know what her title is?
No.
She is the captain of the Mirkwood militia or military, which she's basically the sheriff, which, as you can imagine, is a fairly lofty title. Now, this place is in the Woodland Realm. The Grey Delve is in the Woodland Realm. So
Grey Delve is not in the Woodland Realm. It's more in the mountains of Mirkwood.
Oh, okay. I'm going to say the Grey Delve is in the mountains of Mirkwood, and who is the people who you would most need to be allies with are probably the elves of the Woodland Realm. So they
have no love for us. They shaved our leader.
True.
Did anything come of the intimidation check I rolled? I wrote Gandalf and a Tengu.
One of them backed off and headed to the toy room, which was the room that you failed your awareness roll on to.
That old argument.
And then they bring Ruithil there with her arms bound.
Okay.
Unbind her and give her her bow, and I will tell you something.
We don't have her bow.
I have her bow right with me.
I don't need that worthless stick.
It is fine. Ruithel, are you okay?
She spits at the dwarves.
I'm going to continue with this dwarf to say, look, you're in hot water enough already by having captured the captain of the guard. So probably your best thing right now is to extend an olive branch and leave her in our custody. The elves may have shaved your leader's beard, but you've only got one beard to lose, and that beard is gone. It won't be coming back. But if you try to ransom the captain of the guard back to the elves, you will have a much more difficult time finding the Grey Delve. Of that I can assure you.
Make a persuade roll.
I shall. Oh no, that's good. 6, 12, 22 with a Tengu.
The elves can actually be helpful?
The elves can be helpful. The elves can be very helpful.
But what if we ransomed her back? They'd pay a hefty ransom for the captain of the guard, wouldn't they?
They may, but then anytime they find you in their realm, you'll probably all be beardless.
I don't want to be beardless. I don't want to be beardless either.
I wouldn't give
You will not be ransoming her.
Reason
We
to
will
go
be
to war
taking
with
her
you.
with us now.
Their realm has endured when others have fallen. You do not want to do this.
But
Are you making fun of us because the orcs took our land? We don't take kindly to that.
I am not. I understand.
I don't take kindly to that.
I understand what it's like to be cast from your home and wander, wanting it back. More than you can know.
You're a human. You don't know that.
Do not forget what she just spoke of. There is a dragon close by.
And I will give you this as a measure of good faith. I will tell you, not 4 miles from that storeroom where you have a hefty store of gold in your little museum of treasures that you still have, that you keep from the Grey Delve. Not 4 miles from that lies the dragon of Mirkwood sleeping, and when the wind is right, he will come. He will know, and he will come for it. And the Grey Delve will not ever be retaken. And this will become a dragon haunt.
Though
if you're wise...
You don't believe this fairy tale, do you?
I know
do. If my companion states it so, then it must be. I have, she has fought with me, and she has saved my life as I have hers. She's part of my fellowship.
But she's...
I'm gonna say aside to Thor, I'm gonna say, hey, what's the downside of maybe us helping them find the Grey Delve? That sounds like a lot of fun and exciting.
Oh, there is not. That's what I would...
Well, we probably have to fight an army of orcs, but other than that...
What'd you say, Mike?
Is King Dane aware that Frar and you dwarves are trying to overtake the Grey Delve? Is the king of the dwarves aware of your actions, or are you acting alone as rogue elements?
Frar keeps trying to convince King Dane, but the king keeps saying that the kingdom under the mountain isn't strong enough. He doesn't want to divide his army.
And you
question
his wisdom?
Of your own mannerism and without King Dane's consent. And the other question is whether or not Frar actually identified this elf as the person who shaved his beard. I'm sure he's well aware of who actually shaved his beard. Has he identified this person, or could it be someone else?
Frar's been gone for a few weeks. He'll be back in a few more. We're going to show the prisoner off to Frar, and then he's going to ransom her back to her kind.
He will not do any such thing.
In the meantime, she'll stay in in the toy room in a cell.
Where is
I
she?
don't believe she will.
She's standing
You'll just
next to you.
raise the ire of the elves.
I'm gonna cut
what
her
I will
off.
do is take her with
They're
me
metal.
back to the elves. And in such time, Frar can come, and if she is truly the one who has shaved his beard, I am sure Thranduil will allow you to exact punishment as needed.
As an aside, Master Dwarf, do you imagine that we would be beholden to you such that we would not immediately tell King Thranduil of where this place is? And do you think he would not come here with a company of elven archers?
Let him come. Let the elves come. We'll show them what dwarven might is. This place is full of traps.
At what cost? At what
There is
cost?
no need for that. They have not been attacking you to this point in time. The elves are aware of your being here already, so it's just a matter of time. If you want to provoke them, it is not going to help your cause to get back the Grey Delve. Only by working with them will you get the Grey Delve back. Having to fight them and the inhabitants of the Grey Delve will only weaken you more.
Indeed.
Their support.
Indeed.
So again, we will escort her out. We can blindfold her so that she does not return here. But I will tell you that we will return and speak with Frar.
I don't know, Pullman. They're beginning to make some kind of sense, and I don't want to be attacked by a dragon.
Or every elf in the woodland realm.
Who does? None of us do.
Do you think that King Dane will look kindly on this action that you're planning?
He'll probably be proud of us. He'd probably give us medals.
Not likely. He does business with the woodland realm on a regular basis. As do all in this area. They trade and they are on friendly terms. They fought together.
I'm going to
He will
say
not look
aside
on you
again to the
kindly.
party, could we maybe tell them we're willing to exchange our services? We'll help them with the Grey Delve.
I had already committed my assistance.
Oh, in that case, well, Master Dwarf, I am, for my part, I am more than willing to, if you were willing,
Make
to
it
extend
inspiring.
to extend this olive branch and leave this elf with us, I would be more than happy to join my comrade Thor here in helping you find the Grey Delve.
12.
In whatever manner I could.
Yep.
I have a distinctive feature of lordly as well, if that helps.
Okay, so you can just declare that. Describe how you're being lordly in this.
I'm sort of holding my head high and saying, "You have my word that whatever manner of aid I can render you, I shall do so. At your side, you, my dwarven friends, and also my companion Thor of Erebor the Lonely Mountain. So speak I, Sigurd, son of Sigurd."
And then you smile, and a beam of light from the fire gleams on that one front tooth. Bing!
What do you say, Pullman? I think we have more to gain by letting the elf go. But what about the dignity of our Lord Frog? She has the bow, remember?
Holding a grudge
I have the bow.
is not a way to keep dignity. Discretion is the better part.
Do you doubt my word that this bow was only recently held by her?
All we know is it was an elf with this bow. We recognize the bow.
So do you call me a liar?
Not calling you a liar, but you might be mistaken.
I am not mistaken.
They don't all look alike. Racist!
One might think that being the
On
only
my
beardless
word,
dwarf would make him
and I'll
distinct.
invoke my lordly and boldness. On my word, she is not the one who has raised Farrar's beard. And if you actually ask for her help, she may even help you with the Grey Delve instead of trying to alienate her and her people. And I look to her and I nod my head to her as well.
She looks at you and says, I could discuss this with Randuil. Well, what do you say? Do you want to get the elves on our side? I think that would be a good surprise for Farrar, more than just a ransom. Okay? You can take the elf, wench.
Release her bonds.
They takes his key, undoes the her bonds.
Which I'm sure she throws to the floor.
Yep.
I tell them that we will go back and find out more from Thranduil, and we will return. Be on guard if this dragon is close by. You may need to post up now and watch for any signs of dragon.
You might want to secure the door at the
I
very
would
least.
suggest you lock down and seal your treasures at this point in time.
We'll do that. We have safe places.
One of my specialties is rhymes of lore.
Mm-hmm.
And as a barding, we know stuff about dragons, so I'm going to give him like a little, wise saying regarding dragons, like a little tip.
Sure, like what?
Yeah, don't leave your gold out.
Bards here have to put it on the table, buddy.
I'll tell them, when in doubt, hide your gold deeper.
Aye, those are wise words.
Wise rhymes of lore, friend.
Brimborn, can you beat that?
Will it be off the? We'll have to do it off the cuff. So, for a dragon be a greedy beast, hide your gold hide your gold for greater or least, for beneath the earth the dragon cannot smell. He will look here and there and will not tell. The dragon desire will turn to fire and bear the well.
Not bad for off the cuff.
Just hide the damn gold under your latrine mat.
No, that's a good tip.
Aye, we'll hide the gold. Yes, we'll hide the gold.
We already did the troll dung thing, so we're all good.
I heard it said is never trust a dragon wearing a petticoat, but I think that something was lost in the translation. So.
I've never seen a Walking Dead episode where they sprayed all the zombie nuts all over and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I do ask them what kind of enemies and obstacles you've faced while recently digging deeper into the Grey Delves, so that we can communicate that to
There's
the
food
elves.
there. You just didn't eat it.
We're not nowhere near the Grey Delve. We're in north. That's dozens of miles to the north.
Ah, okay. So what have you encountered recently besides the elves here that are blocking your way to making better progress?
The place is crawling with orcs. King Dane won't send an army to clear out those orcs.
Well, we definitely can help you with the orcs. If we do not return with the aid of the elves, we will come ourselves to help you with the orcs.
We'll devise a strategy.
If my comrades are willing.
Yes, once our
Yes,
prior commitment is done. We should not
I'm
do
fairly
that.
certain if King Thranduil learns of the orcs and their presence in his kingdom or near his kingdom, he will provide it. Or at least I cannot promise, but we will try.
That's good enough for us. We will see you when you return then.
Alright, very good. Let's make haste to return Ruthvel so that they do not continue searching for us. It's probably been a while.
You don't want to continue on the hunt?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
hey
that's what we're
dwarves,
gonna
by
do.
the way, you haven't seen a white heart around anywhere, have you?
Not down here.
Oh, you never know. Never hurts to ask.
So when we get up to the
But Lorith
Up
knows
the tree.
exactly where is aware of the path.
And lead the way.
Make a hunting roll.
from where? We're still under.
You exit the complex.
When we exit the tunnel, I'm gonna beat that knob to a. They don't get it. They don't get out so easy. I'm going to mess with the knob so that it's going to be very difficult indeed for them to even find it. And it may be sort of broken. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So now, hunting, you said?
Hunting.
One. Doesn't what's-her-face get one too?
Lorith, as she does.
No,
I mean,
I'm
Ruithel.
Yeah, Ruithel. Yeah. I got 15. No tangoos. Sorry. On my hunting.
You find the path way before she does.
been harmed at all?
She has not been harmed.
I'm sure she's glad to have her bow back.
While we are traveling, I speak with her and try to reassure her that, you know, dwarves can be fairly obstinate at times and do not.
You're telling me.
They, you will find that they are good companions. And definitely good to have on your side in a fight.
Being put in a cage in a room filled with tin soldiers is not going to be something I have an easy time getting over.
Understood.
Nevertheless, they did acquiesce and chose not to keep you imprisoned, so that's certainly something.
It is something. Oh, it is something, and that's keep me from burning their tree down.
Yeah, also, they were not acting on the orders of their leader, too. That's also something.
I'd hate to meet that leader. He'll have to answer for what his men did.
As leaders always do.
Well, just identifying you by the presence of the bow. Do you recall where you received the bow from as to who could possibly be the person that shaved Far? That's where this two secret, or the answer to this riddle lies, is who possessed the bow before you.
It was Gillian. Gillian was my predecessor.
And how well did you know Gillian?
Fairly well. He was a good captain of the guard.
What happened to him?
He retired. He's headed to the west.
So he is no longer here.
He is no longer here.
Went to the Undying Lands.
You see a white deer, a single lone white deer, at the edge of a clearing.
Stealth.
Are we supposed to kill this thing?
Yep, it's a royal hunt contest.
And try to shoot it.
Stealth or hunting? What do I do?
If you want to get into a better position, stealth,
Yeah.
or you can take a shot.
I want to get into a better position first.
Okay. Nine. You step on a twig, and it prepares to bolt. Ella Brimborn, make your attack.
Can I attack too?
Nope, because you were doing stealth.
That's right.
26.
26. X, did you get any tangoos?
No.
Did you make edge?
Well, 26 didn't make edge of no tank.
You hit it, but it does not take the deer down, and it disappears into the forest.
But it will have my arrow in it, and it will know that I claim
It'll be easier to
right
track.
to this deer.
We must find it soon so it doesn't suffer. Hunting.
Okay.
Now we can track the creature for bleeding.
That sucks.
So that would be 5 points of damage.
Okay.
I'm rolling really low. 10 on my hunting. That sucks.
Rachel rolls her hunting.
Yeah, so I guess we try to track and then be hunting her.
Yep. Ruthil follows the track, and it looks like the path abruptly ends as if it just disappeared into thin air.
trees around?
Plenty of trees. You're in the middle of the forest.
Any of them that look like that tree that we...
Can I do like a battle roll or something where I can like position or put my I'm trying to think like a white stag if I were trying to hide. What would I do?
Sure. Make a battle roll.
Wouldn't that be a battle roll?
You can do that.
Okay.
You don't find anything. You find some splotches of blood on some plants.
Ooh.
I got an 18 and 2.
You look around all the places you would be, and the tracks are pretty much out into the open. It looks like it disappeared in the thin air.
22 with the Tengu.
Just like Thor, you see the tracks and you just abruptly end as if it disappeared in the thin air. This is supposed to be a semi-magical creature, too.
It's gone to ground to heal.
Can I roll a lore about the deer?
Sure.
Can we maybe sing a song and try and soothe it to reappear? Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, Mike.
27 with a Tengu for lore.
It's going to have to be a pretty good song to lure it back to face death.
Well, I could also like one of my virtues is the speakers, so I can
Well, what you know is, for many years, King Thranduil has hunted the fabled white deer of Mirkwood, a race of enchanted beasts known to roam all the forest. They are rarely seen, as some consider their appearance to foreshadow portentous events. Recently, hunters have spotted the creatures in northern Mirkwood, and the Elven King called for a royal hunt. The chances to hit it is very... Once you find it, you know that they are very good at disappearing.
It's like a chance of a lifetime.
Yes.
See, this is the difference between Lewis and Tolkien. In Narnia, there was a white deer, the white stag, and if you caught him, you didn't kill him. If you caught him, he could give you wishes.
So you said we saw evidence of blood. Can we go
Yeah.
check out the blood? Is it seem normal, like we would find from a normal stag, or...
Yeah, it seems normal. Roethel looks at you and says, I've never ever been this close to a white stag that's alive. But I have heard that if you don't fall it with your first arrow or two, that they do disappear.
I will take some of the
That's what I
blood
was
and...
just going to say. Yeah, we probably need to just wait for the opportunity to find it again.
So maybe we camp and sing some songs and see if anything happens?
Okay.
Or do we need to get back? I guess ask Rothel what she thinks would be the...
She says it doesn't hurt to stay the night and see if it comes back in the morning. If it doesn't, then I would recommend going back.
Right.
The stag was probably moved on considerably far.
Okay. Is it wise to set a fire?
So I'll take some
Says
of the blood.
it would be.
I'll
Okay. I'll gather wood.
put some on my armor. Just as a tribute to it.
Okay.
And then we'll
Set up camp.
light a campfire with my fire making, and we'll drink some meat and have some song.
What do you sing?
Oh boy, what would be a good song for a hunt? What was that old song? Hungry Like the Wolf. Pick it up a little pace, slow it down. It'll be more of a folk tune.
Okay.
I can do the naming of balding. Very long. I don't know. That's like hunting orcs.
Mm-hmm. That'll get me fired up.
I have to show the cat that he
I was listening to the Irish and Celtic Music podcast, and they had on there a band that does Pink Floyd songs, but to the style of Celtic music.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
It's real cool hearing another brick in the wall with fiddles. Okay, the night passes uneventfully, and the deer does not return.
Okay. Laura, any signs? Do you want to try and see if you can sense it?
Mary's out of the room.
Oh, okay.
She tries, but does not sense it.
And maybe we should return. We did promise the dwarves that we would speak with Brandwell, King Brandwell.
Okay. You return to the Thranduil's kingdom, and a couple people claim that they saw the stag. Nobody was able to take it down. What do you tell your story?
Certainly.
Heck yeah.
I show them the blood that's on my armor now, as a sign of what the great shout of my elven compatriots were.
It was a shot of my life. I wish that my hero had gone more true, but I just hit the creature in the rump. If I only had more time to get closer, I would have taken her down. It is a shot of a lifetime and a memory of a lifetime.
That's always it with the stag, is you don't have much time. It's all about the reflex, being ready for that moment, and striking true.
Then I must practice.
It's not about practice. It's about being ready, Legolas says as he walks up to you. You're either ready when that moment comes, or you're not.
My lord, how well do you do?
I do quite well. But I see that our captain of our guard has something on her mind. And she says, yes, my lord. I was captured by dwarves. And everybody, it's that moment at a celebration where the music stops, and everybody hears that, and everybody is looking at you guys.
You mean me? Yeah, it's roar.
The record screeches.
Yep.
It wasn't me.
Everybody, it's the Legolas was talking to you and says, it looks like Ruithel has something to say. And she goes, aye, my lord, I was captured by dwarves. And at that moment, like, all the music stops, and the conversation stops, and everybody's looking at you guys.
How did we get to them? We found them the next day.
You traveled back across.
I defeated the cat. I'll be right back.
So, who's going to do the talking?
I guess Alfred Warmwell, because this is his people, so hopefully he's got enough fun with everybody. But
If you want some help, I'm right here.
yeah,
I'm Lord Boldly.
we have a group of dwarves led by Frar that's trying to take the Great Elves back, and Frar, we don't know, well, we do know the culprit, that his people said that Alien, the former captain of the guard, had shaved
His beard was shaven for marching onto our lands and demanding that we provide him aid in his endeavor. He was shaven for showing disrespect for our people.
Well, he did show disrespect. I don't know that shaving his beard is the. I'm not aware of whether shaving his beard is the proper punishment.
You might want to roll your courtesy in that.
Roll courtesy.
Oh, yeah. As you are telling the king that he made a mistake.
All right, that's fine. I got 12 with a 10 good.
You want to use some hope on that?
I probably gotta need help. I mean, I know that's pretty low.
Like from other people?
No, he's gonna need. You can. There's a fellowship pool of hope.
Use a point from the fellowship pool.
All right.
Yeah.
So what's a roll another 6-sided?
Nope, that gives you adds your modifier for the attribute link to.
Favored, it's your favorite heart. Otherwise, it's just your heart.
All right, so that would add another 6 to it, so that's 18.
18.
With the tape.
I forgive you for having. I think you might have been hanging up, associating with dwarves too much. It sounded like you have been questioning my decisions.
No, it's not that I question your decisions, my lord. It's I am deep within all this trying. You know, it's very concerning to me to bring all our people together, the three people against who our true enemy is, which is the shadow and the necromancer and the orcs and the wargs that are true enemy. It is not. I know we have a long hatred that's established from the dwarves, and that will continue. And I don't think that wound will ever heal. But it is my object to not let that wound fester, but be able to tend to it and heal that wound and get it to close as much as possible. But I am fearful that if we let this go on, that it will run into a conflict with the dwarves, which we do not need. They are basically have the same objectives that we do, and we cannot basically take that completely at their word. They are not raised in the court to do that, and I am sorry if I spoke out of turn to you, but I do feel this is a matter of importance that we do not get ourselves too much in an ire over this situation. For these dwarves do need our help taking Greydale. I think one of the things that they need to pledge to do is that they pledge to let King Dane know about their actions as well, for he does not know what's going on. Do I feel they should be punished? I think the punishment has already been dealt, and you've already done that, my lord. But I think they do need aid, and their need is dire, and it is a noble effort to try to take the Great Elf back from the orcs.
It is indeed a great effort, but if King Dane will not provide aid because he does not see it wise to take away his defenses of his kingdom, just as I do not see it wise at this point to take away the defenses of my kingdom to invest in this endeavor. Now, if King Dane were to decide to go forth and support this endeavor, then perhaps I would see differently. But if their own kind won't back this, I see no reason for me to. When King Dane decides that it is right to do so, I will listen. Until then, this is a dwarf matter.
Very well, my lord. I respect your opinion. Your word shall be echoed through my voice.
And Legolas looks at you and says, "Personally, I wouldn't mind going up there and shooting a couple of orcs."
That's what I'm talking about.
We must do it with our Lord Thranduil wishes.
Thranduil walks away, and you're approached by a portly human gentleman. He goes, "That took some guts to say that all to the king. The name's Hallbrick. I'm a wine seller from Dale."
Ah, well met, kinsman.
"Well met, Sigurd. So have you heard the latest from your homeland?"
No, what's going on? What's going on with the Princess Una, the Dorwinian princess?
"It looks like our Lord Bard is fallen head over heels in love with her. There is sending frequent letters to her as well as to her family and trying to win her hand in marriage."
I'm sure her beauty is unmatched in all the North, if King Bard has cast his eye favorably upon her.
I've seen her make a procession into the castle. She is indeed a sight to behold.
Well, with luck, soon wedding bells may ring.
There will be a glorious occasion for all of Dale.
Is there what else? What other sort of news?
Trade is going very well, except with the Northwest Lumber Company.
Oh, what's going on with the Northwest Lumber Company?
They are infringing a little bit close to the territory that the elves have said are off limits, and several of the lumberjacks were found wandering the forest deranged after going a little too far into the forest.
Oh, I see.
I think that the wayward elves might have messed with them somehow.
Well, I suppose better than being imprisoned or killed.
Being driven mad?
Well, has it been a temporary affliction, or have they continued to be driven insane?
For what I know, they are still in the institution.
Oh. That doesn't sound...
and he looks at Thor and Ella Brimborn and goes, I believe you're familiar with the old institution.
Yes, I am. That is up again. I thought we had destroyed it. Is that
Laura's eyebrows shoot towards the ceiling.
the place where we were captured in the first place and we had to escape from, or
Yep.
that institution? Yeah. I thought we had told the local people to clear that out and take it over, but
They took it over and reopened it.
Does that sound? I'm going to ask Ella Brimborn too. Does that sound unusual for the woodland elves to be driving people insane?
It's not the.
I
What
think
did
they
you
would
say?
just
The
possibly
wild
The wayward elves. The elves that don't stay with Thranduil's kingdom,
Okay.
but
So they're
do their own thing in the woods.
okay. So it's not the same thing as members of the realm.
It's people who've broken off from the realm.
Yes, but
No,
Right.
sort
Just
of
didn't realize that.
wild wood elves or something like that.
maybe he needs to be aware of that.
The Wayward Elves, Eric, they've made appearances before in the campaign.
Okay.
They're a sect of elves that have broken away from Thranduil's rule. They don't like being kept under kind of a martial type of ruling, and like to just
sing and play in the forest.
Yeah, they're all Woodstock.
Okay.
24/7 Woodstock. So they do their own thing, and so they're a little more aggressive when it comes to dealing with people who infringe on their forest.
Gotcha.
They like to mess with people, do tricks, take the kids from the camps and lead them into the forest and hang out with them, and so the parents freak out that the kids are disappeared.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah. These are more like traditional, the little people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe they're descended from Ale. Well, no, you only have one. Never mind. Though, it could be. No, Maitland didn't have any kids. Never mind. Just
okay. So that's what
be from somewhere.
That's what Hallbrook has to say.
Are they drow? They're not drow.
No.
Thank you, friend. Safe journeys, and hopefully I'll see you again soon on the road.
Yes. Hope to see you. Hope that you come home soon to Dale. It's a glorious city. It's really coming up beautifully with the reconstruction.
I suppose I do need to come back at some point to report in regards to the caravan that I was sent out to see not so long ago. But that will happen in due time, as soon as I can.
Yep. And you guys now get a fellowship phase.
Oh, already?
Already.
All right.
So,
hanging out.
this was a quick one.
Kingdom.
That's what happens when I use the modules from the book and not my own written ones.
I know where this
Do
is
we
all
get
leading.
any experience for today or no?
Taking back great.
Yep, you get add the experience from since last time.
There's just one for now since we didn't update a journal.
Yeah.
What?
Alright.
I don't know.
1 XP plus 1 if you wrote a journal entry.
Let's say I did.
No,
Retroactively.
let's not say you did.
Retroactively.
No, then you can apply it to the next one. And here's the chart for spending stuff.
What's the point of sleeping with the GM if you can't even get an XP? What? What are you looking at?
That's the chart on the right is the chart for raising your skills.
Which chart? There's two charts on the right.
There's
okay,
one.
to raise a common skill. I get it. Meh, meh, meh. So I have to add up all these little dice. Which I got today. A fair amount.
Mm-hmm.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 successes.
Yeah, I only have like 5 points, so I don't think that's going to be. I'm not going to be able to raise anything with that.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
If it takes something, points in something, I have nothing in.
I have 5 points, and I have nothing in Riddle, which is one of my favorite skills. So maybe I'll take a point in Riddle.
So I can use the XP I've got here to
Seems like a good idea.
add in.
The XP that you added, that's for the chart for Valor and for your battle skills.
Okay. Alright, so that's not really going to help right now. It's just one. Okay. I can raise one skill from 1 to 2, apparently.
I could raise my spear by 1. But I think I want to hang around and wait for enough to raise swords.
I have just enough to bump my wisdom. So I'm going to bump my wisdom. So back 0. So I bumped my persuade from 1 to 2, and that's all. I had some extra advancement points, so I used those, and then I bumped my wisdom. Let's see what I'm going to do for wisdom.
I think I'll do my inspire, which will cost me all but 1 of the points. Do I lose that point or do I keep it?
No, you keep it.
Okay. This is 8 and I've got 9, so I'll erase all. Put 1 of these.
You know,
There we go. I'm done. That was easy.
Okay, so tell me where you go during your couple months of downtime and what you do to boost up your skill and tell the story.
Months of downtime?
Yep, you have a couple months off.
And we all have to go someplace together. We can go separate.
You can
places.
go to separate places.
I believe I go to visit my kin.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that they're hanging out around Bree. Knowing that a couple of them are hanging out in Bree.
Okay.
That we said we might meet up outside of Bree then, and a couple of us will go in at the same time to the inn. They tell you that they've had some problems in Bree. There have been some bandits led by 2 guys known as Cormac and Aowick. And they have been con artists. They've been cutthroats on the road. You name it, they've done it. And the Rangers have been looking for, keeping an eye out for them, and tell you to keep an eye out for them. Well, which ranger friend of mine or kin can give me a little lesson in so I can as I raise my, because I'm raising my inspire, so I guess
you tell me.
I'm gonna get one.
You have control of the story.
Well, you know what I want to say, but I won't. It'll be his nearest cousin. It's probably like a 3rd or 4th cousin. And
what's
I'm
his name?
Further, Elron.
Yeah.
AIL. I'm just pulling it out of my ass.
Okay.
Elrond. So I wasn't expecting him to actually be there when I got, the other guys, the other whatever guy and girl leave, and I go to the bar to get another ale because I only had a short one, and go to get a pint, and Elrond.
Lorith, it's good to see you.
Likewise, my friend.
Yes, yes.
What news of our kinsmen?
Oh, we've been doing constable work in Bree. They had to chasten this Aowick all around the area. They seem to have a base somewhere in the Barrel Downs.
Ah, that's not good.
No, it's not, and it's not fun to be out looking for them. They've killed their kinslayers, their thieves, cutthroats, con artists. Hell, they've even killed chickens.
What
Scoundrels.
what do they look like? Or do they disguise themselves too well to tell?
They disguise themselves fairly well.
Are they hefty? Are they tall? Are they short?
They're average height. They look very blended in well with crowds. Human.
Well, I'll try and keep apart from them. I wish I could join you, but I have other duties calling me.
Of course.
But perhaps afterwards I can comment. I have no wish to face the whites again after that first time in my youth. But what must be done? What must be done? What of Strider, our kinsman? I've heard little of him.
He is out and about. He's making his way down, I believe, toward Rohan.
Is there news of Rohan?
Not yet.
That's strange in itself, isn't it?
It is.
That such a land should fall quiet.
Well, it's better than hearing that they're under they're at constant attacks by the other people down there.
Aye. Well, tonight is for fellowship. Have you eaten yet?
Of course I have, but I have room in my stomach for some more.
Well, perhaps let's take one of the smaller parlors and so we can really chat. Or unless you would like, I have not been around such a company in a while. That would be fine too.
Well, the parlor's fine.
Okay. So I go and we eat and drink and, tell old stories and and he can tell me more stuff or whatever, and, I'll tell him of a few of our adventures. If he's, I might tell him about the shadow chick. I'll definitely tell him about killing about me giving the death blow. I know I didn't kill him all myself, of the guy made of stone, what's his,
the Etten?
The Etten. And,
Well, you've been busy out there.
More than I wish, but,
So you're saying we have to worry about trolls coming down?
I'm afraid we do. I'm afraid that all the evil things in the area, in this part of the world, are somehow managing to keep their angers for each other aside and work together for all our undoing. It bears watching.
Yes, it does.
Wherever you see a troll and a human, collaborating, it's not a good place.
It's usually only in jokes.
Yes, well, I mean that they were enslaving orcs together. That in itself is scary. So So that's it. That's what,
Okay.
You know, we go doing that. Carry on.
So who's next? George, what are you doing?
Yeah, I can go. I actually, since we're as close as we have been in a long time to Erebor, I have traveled back to Erebor, and I hooked on with maybe that Halbrick with the wine selling to travel back towards Erebor, and we traveled pretty well. No real big issues getting back there. I actually wanted to approach King Dane while I spent some time there and give him an update on all the adventures, where we've been, all the trials and tribulations of the North, what we did in Rivendell and how we fought the trolls, and then returned back towards Mirkwood and then relayed the story of the dwarves and their fight towards Great Elf. And I boosted my wisdom, so my confidence is higher, and so I've risen with my hope. And I'm approaching King Dane in terms of asking for him to again help Frar in his efforts, and reminding him of the efforts to retake Erebor and the past that we had there when all hope was lost in fighting a dragon, and that the Great Elves is another dwarven adventure that could potentially bring hope to our people and return us to our prominence, and ask that he support Frar in some way, and hopefully again bridge the allegiance with the elves, as if we commit our dwarven troops in some fashion, that Thranduil will actually help commit his kingdom behind the effort as well.
Hey, it's noble of him to do so, but there's some enemies to the north. There were orcs that have fled from the Battle of Five Armies from Mirkwood. Some fled off to the north, and they're just waiting to have their chance at Erebor again. We can't loosen our defenses at this time. The time may be right soon, but as I see it, everybody is watching us, looking for us to be weak.
I understand and agree that, you know, our home must be protected, and that the main portion of our troops should remain here. But could you offer one or two of your more renowned champions, or maybe someone that's up and coming in the ranks, to come with me and my fellowship to help Frar, at least to provide us some inspiration and hope to their efforts?
Son, you'll need more than inspiration and hope. There are thousands of orcs in there.
We understand that, but if it's more of a show of good faith, I am certain that I can find comrades here in Erebor that would be willing to go if you would grant them the chance to help support. And again, I think it would also help in our relationships with Mirkwood and Thranduil, so that if the time has ever come where we need their help to fight the orcs, that bond is strong.
I'm not behind going to support throwing lives away. If we do it right, and we do it to win.
Are you certain that that you would not at least ask for volunteers from our home to help?
You're free to ask for volunteers, but the king says no.
Okay.
This is a suicide mission.
Very well. I have committed my efforts to Frar in the past, and I will plan to do so. So I am of my free will planning to do that. Please know this.
Can you not just wait? Give us a couple years to strengthen our hold. We're just getting things finished back up here.
It may not
We have dwarves coming in from the Iron Hills. We're growing our numbers. This is not something that I don't want to do. It's just something that it's too soon in our reign here to do.
So maybe I can speak with Farrar and look towards finding some agreement with him to not necessarily overtake the Great Elves, but at least to find the best ways to eventually attack it. Would you be acceptable to that?
Aye, that would be acceptable. Reconnaissance is fine. I'm just asked that you don't throw your life away, son. I'd have to answer to my daughter about that.
I was just gonna point out that maybe you would talk to Mayor about talking to Danny's ear, but
I thought of that, but she probably wouldn't want me to go, so
right.
she would want me to stay. So knowing that that's probably the case, that's why I didn't want to approach her.
Yeah, but that's a good sign that he says.
Yeah. He at least knows what she thinks of, so that is good. All right, I take my leave of you. Thank you. And so, I bumped my persuade 1 point and added to my wisdom. And so I raised my hope.
Okay.
Okay. That's all I could really do.
Ella Brimborn, what do you do?
So I really only had achievement points to I increased craft. So I spent time in the halls of King Grandwell, in the wine cellars, with the makers of the wine, so the winemakers and stuff like that, to learn their craft and increase my craft skill in general. The other question I had was, I need to recover hope at this point, because I didn't recover it when we were in Rivendell.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe. So, I think I would get 1 point just for no one being injured in my party. I mean, I'd probably pick Laura as my fellowship person to focus on.
Right.
Like no one poisoned or killed or whatever. So I get 1 point of hope for that, correct?
Correct.
All right, and then can I earn back any more?
If you take work on a item or try to do a composition that fills your takes your heart puts your heart into something positive.
All right, then I'll work on a song during that time.
Okay, where is
Yeah, I forgot to do that.
So that'd be like a DC 12, I think.
Standing,
Yeah, I forgot. We are supposed to do an undertaking, right?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't.
Yeah, I was just looking at that actually.
Mm-hmm.
What? What's that?
Let me show you. Undertaking starts right here. So what are you going to do for your undertaking, Ella Brimborn?
I think I'll write the song of Elrond that I posted today.
Okay. Make a song roll.
So that was 21 with the Tengu.
21 with the Tengu. He'll get 4 points back.
Okay. Plus the one from Lorith.
Plus the one from Lorith.
Okay.
Sigurd?
That's my undertaking then, right?
Right, that's your undertaking.
Okay.
Sigurd, what do you do?
I'm actually going to travel back to Dale with Thor and with Halbrecht to report to King Bard about the caravan, how it was lost, how it was attacked by bandits, trolls and men working together, and how I investigated that. I found a new fellowship, and by his leave, I would like to continue traveling with them. I would also like to talk to him. I'd like to open the idea of perhaps helping these dwarves in the Mirkwood who are trying to find and recover the Grey Delve. I'd like to, essentially say, we've certainly helped dwarves recover their homelands, their ancient lands in the past, and this may be equally as lucrative and beneficial for us. I've already pledged myself to this undertaking, as I thought it was a noble calling, and in so doing, I thought I would create some goodwill between myself and these dwarves, as well as the lands of Dale.
What does King Dane say about this?
King Dane has been reticent thus far. He feels that that Erebor is still not in a state militarily to be able to send any sort of troops. And King Thranduil, honestly, feels essentially the same way. He has said that once King Dane takes action, then he may be willing to also take action.
I would believe that if we launched an action to take the Grey Delve, it would risk our relationship with the dwarves. That they would see that as us trying to claim it for ourselves. When King Dane is ready to go about it and asks for aid, then I will gladly provide it. But it is not anything that I believe it is our business to start.
Those are wise words. By your leave, sir. Indeed.
Then the woman, you see pictured here, steps forward and says, "You must remember, though, dear, that these dwarves were driven from their home. That we were, as you were driven from this city, as your father was driven from the city, that it has fallen. They were taken from theirs. Orcs and other foul creatures keep them from achieving the kind of peace and tranquility that you know here. And it's not just for greed and for gold that they desire, but for a sense of home." This is Princess Una.
Who did you choose for her?
You chose her.
I did?
Yeah.
Who?
I give her a deep bow.
Oh, right. Here. I know what I mean. I forgot.
And what do you... This is disturbing, Bard says, of men and orcs working together. What does it mean for us out here? Do we need to worry about troll and orc and man combination armies disrupting trade, and we're trying to conquer Dale?
From what we've been able to gather, I would not say, in the short term, I would say no. It seems as though this unholy alliance, if you will, have been trying to open some of the forgotten paths beneath the underground paths beneath the Mirkwood, and some of the I guess the caves. So it seems as though their focus is on the Mirkwood at the current time. Also, the chieftain, one of the chieftains, if you will, troll by the name of Mormog. That's his name. A troll by the name of Mormog. We were able to slay him in singular combat. So I believe that that may put a crimp in their plans. That may slow them down at least a bit. Yes, Mormog. So for the short term, I would say no. But in investigating this, we did hear whispers that perhaps the old shadow is returning. I mean, the really old shadow.
Continue.
That is essentially all I was able to.
Where have you heard this?
Where did we hear this? Oh, we heard this from Faradroon, from a spirit named Faradroon.
You were consulting with spirits?
No, she was. My companions informed me that they believe her to be one of the Maya, actually.
A servant of Arome.
Servant of Orome.
Right, one of the servants of Orome. The Maya of Orome, named Faradroon. I was not as familiar with her as the rest of my company was, obviously, but I didn't detect any sort of darkness on her. She seemed a fair and good person, if that's what you can call one of the Maya.
Okay. And she specifically said that the Shadow of Ode is returning.
That is what she implied, yes. I was as taken aback as you are. That I'm here to report that is what she told me. That is what she said. What her evidence is for that, I was not able to. I didn't have the time to question her very closely, but I feel like that is hearing this from the source I heard, which seemed to be a reliable source. I felt that I should tell you this.
Then I will send a message to Isengard for Saruman to hear this and to investigate this Faradroon.
That's very wise. Very wise.
Thank you. Have served us well. And please enjoy your stay here in Dale.
Thank you very much. And I think I was going to. I spent 3 advancement and went up a point in riddle. I figure I can talk with the word weavers of Dale. Just practicing riddle. And I think that's probably the only thing I was going to do. I think that was it. Oh, yeah. I was going to make an undertaking as well.
Okay.
The undertaking of heal corruption.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that perhaps I could attempt to craft a song. Write a song. Because I'm pretty good. Oh, yeah. Craft a song. No. Write a song. I'm going to attempt to write a song about my adventures thus far.
Okay. Make a song roll.
I shall try to make a song roll. Ew. 6.
It's very, very close to mbop.
Umbop is catchy.
That's all mbop is. But it is catchy. So is a virus.
All right.
I'll keep working on it.
So you do not reduce any shadows on this, though you have created a catchy song about Mormog falling. Mormog dies. Hooray, hooray! Mormog dies. Is sung well throughout Dale.
I forgot. I want to do an undertaking too.
Sure. What undertaking do you want to do?
Well, I figured that on my way back from Bree, which probably took me about 3 weeks to go in there and spend a few days there, I stop at Rivendell and spend a couple weeks there healing up. Maybe how long will it take me to get back a point of hope?
Get a point of hope. You have to do a undertaking that is basically involves your craft skill.
Okay. I forget what I said my craft was.
Need patrons.
Oh yeah, craft weapon repair. So.
The heal corruption that they've been doing has been to reduce shadow.
I don't have any shadow, but I've just got really, really low hope.
Mm-hmm.
So
to do this, you need to make a craft roll to put your heart into something that you enjoy and create something masterful. Basically, gain inner joy through art.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh boy. The problem is, for me to do that, I have to spend time with Daron. Repair. Alright, no, I already did it, so I can work on my own with it. I will work on my bow that has been used and is on the rough side and try and make it's an okay bow, and I'm going to, put a little love on it so that even though it might not be any higher quality in a lot of ways, it does shoot a little better, and it looks better than it was and all that, so I'll do that.
Yep, make a craft roll.
Okay. So far, so good. 11.
You want to spend... you don't want to spend a point of hope on that? You do some beautiful work on there, but the things that you've experienced were too severe to heal to drive away from your mind.
I knew I should have craft.
You have nightmares. You have still have images. Your mind still goes back to Carn Dûn and all those places.
Well, no, I'm worried about the whites.
You're worried about the whites.
Yeah,
you're worried about others like Fairdrune who were forced to serve Sauron.
Mm-hmm. So where were we set to meet again? Were we going to meet at Thranduil's? Were we going to meet in Dale?
No, you were actually asked to meet back in Rivendell.
Oh, okay. Well then, I'm well placed. Though I will bring Elrond the news that I heard. He might not already know it. And tell him that he may want to up the guards on the roads, that he, his scouts need to be extra aware, because these fools blend in like regular travelers, but they're not.
They're human bandits.
Yes.
Why are they causing so much problems amongst the Rangers?
That is a good question. They seem to have... most human bandits have a code, right? That they don't go outside. They will do this, but not that. these people will do anything. They've even killed chickens, and not like hunting them for food, but just for pleasure and to destroy. Who does that? Who does that? And they have
orcs do that. Trolls do that.
And these bandits do. It's disturbing to me that they hang their hideouts are near the barrows. That means to me that perhaps they are in league with the shadow in some way through there. The whites have never been all destroyed. Perhaps we should sometime take a contingent and drive them all out. But I don't know how that would be done.
Neither do I. It is considerable, the amount that is there. It is a very tainted land. And we will be passing through that. You will be passing through that as you join a group of elves that are heading to the Western Sea. As there is a boat that has been made to carry you beyond the normal bounds of this world.
Yes. I remember.
And that's about when the rest of you guys show up. If you want to compare notes about what you've learned and what's happened since you last seen each other.
Oh, I'm sure we
I wanted to go ahead and do an undertaking too.
Sure, what undertaking would you like to do?
Receive title, if that's possible.
Ooh.
What?
Receive title.
I have a sanctuary in Rivendell, and then called Elf Friend to Thranduil. I was wondering if I could be an ambassador of some form to the elves.
Yes, you may.
And,
describe how that happens.
So I guess before I'm ready to depart, I asked for an audience with King Dane again, and I was able to secure a couple of dwarves that are good supporters of Farrar, and explain to them that, you know, I need more stealthy type people that have the ability to sway others and to do reconnaissance and really know you know, how to work in the Underdark as far as the caverns and things of that nature. And I'm asking them to come to aid Farrar from in their efforts to take back the Great Elf. And I am not asking them to commit their lives, but to commit their skills to learn more and help in that fashion. And so I present myself and the two with me to King Dane, and I ask that you know, these two be allowed to come with me to potentially spend time with Farrar and to do what we had thought was wise to do, and that if I could also present myself to Thranduil and to Elrond and the other elves as an ambassador, so that they know that we do have a voice with the throne here to help serve and promote goodness between our peoples.
Excellent. You are well received, elf friend.
And then I
So
give my warmest regards to Mare before we depart. And commit to her that I will return, and that you know, I thank her for being patient with me and for letting me continue on in this journey.
Yeah. So you guys all meet back up in Rivendell. What do you wish to share with each other?
Hang on, Mike might have something. Did you want to say something, Mike?
No, nothing else.
Okay. All right. When I return, I give everyone an update about you know, what King Dane's reply has been, and that I have been named an ambassador, and hopefully I can be received by Thranduil in such capacity. and that I've been able to bring 2 others with me to help at least do more reconnaissance and identify where the where all the bad guys will be, or the orcs will be, with the Great Elf, and hopefully learn more so that we can gain the confidence of the king, so that he can send aid in the next year or 2.
Okay.
Nice.
I tell everybody about the, that I hung out with my kinsmen for a while, and the news about the pair of human bandits and their whatever Confederates there, and that they're hanging out with the, around the barrows, and what trouble that is, and I won't tell them about my first barrow weight experience right now, but I'll just say we are going to be passing through that area, so we're going to want to be extra on guard.
Okay. We'll put our faith in you, Lord, as you are good within these woods, as Erebor born is as well. This lowly dwarf struggles at times as we travel through the woods.
Excellent. Elrond calls you all together and says, I have received word that the ship that shall bear you out, hopefully to where Sedna rests, is complete, and it is ready for you to board. You'll be traveling with a company of elves that will be traveling on a different boat that will go further, taking them to the Undying Lands.
Oh, was I able to drop the 2 dwarves off at Farrar's?
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Great. And was Farrar there or no?
Farrar was there.
Okay. So was he okay with how we resolved Ruethel? Did he want
Seeing that you brought dwarves with it from Erebor, that's more success than he's had. I haven't been getting anything but being shown the door. You bring me people to help. That's better than an elf in a cage.
Very good. Please know that Ruethel was not the one that.
I know it was a male dwarf. I mean a male elf.
Yes. He has now since departed these lands and moved on to the west, so he will never come back to this world and be a part of it. So
suits him well. Didn't like him.
Yes. But, you must take heed to Thranduil and try not to provoke anything further with him, so that we can gain his support in your efforts as well. So if you commit to doing that, then King Dane, once he commits more resources, Thranduil will follow suit.
Hey, an elf arrow's as good as a dwarf arrow any day. Well, not really, but it's still better than nothing.
Very good. Okay, then we have committed our resources to another effort, and we will return as soon as we can. We are still looking to try and save Gandalf from this magic that he is under.
Yep.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
So everybody make a lore roll to help you with your travel.
Okay.
As you are going back onto this map.
Okay. Yeah, 15 with the Tengu.
18 with the Tengu, that gives you a bonus die.
16 with the Tengu.
I mean, they will give you 2 bonus die. That gives you 2 bonus die.
Cool.
Brimborn?
25 with Tengu.
Woo.
Whoa! Everybody who gets bonus die. Bonus. So that's 6 points. Sigurd?
Going on and on about the Silmarils and the Undying Land, and can't wait for everyone to see it.
I got a Gandalf with 2 Tengus.
An excellent success. That's equal to 3.
Nice.
So that is a huge, one of the biggest piles I've ever seen for this. You can spend, I highly recommend you spend these with your travel rolls to avoid suffering endurance loss.
Especially since we don't get to keep these next session.
You don't get to keep these once you go over once you're done traveling.
You got like 12 dice to use?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Well, I'll take one for my first travel roll. I only get 2 otherwise.
Alright. Add a d6 and travel. It's a pretty easy journey. Well, no, it's not. It's a fairly easy journey going through the Ettenmoors and the Lone Lands.
14 with the Tengu.
14 with the Tengu. That's what you needed. You head on out from Rivendell and cross the Ettenmoors and enter the Lone Lands with that. Who's going to go next for their travel roll?
I can go. I'll use one of the dice.
Good call.
Bitch has got her
Alright,
figured
very good. 9, 14. I got a 16.
16? That's good. That gets you through there. No losses. Ella Brimborn?
I'll take one travel dice too.
Yep.
And that'll be a 16 with the Tengu.
Excellent. You have no endurance loss as you cut across it. Sigurd.
I will also take one of these dice. That is 10, 15, 18 with a Tengu.
18 with the Tengu, so you have no problems getting to the Lone Lands. One more travel each to get you guys to Bree.
Are we going to use the travel die for being on the ship as well, or that'll be separate?
This is only for, not for being on the ship, this is to get you to the ship.
Oh, I won't spend one this time. I'll wait till the next time.
Okay, so Laura's not going to spend one. Go for it. This is real easy country here. Very beautiful, green and lush.
Tengu.
You make it to Bree.
So I got a 22 with the Tengu.
Easy traveling. You wish it was always this easy.
Ooh, without spending a die, I got a 21 with 2 Tengus.
Excellent. Make sure you're marking down the little check marks for these good rolls.
Yes, sir.
Ella Brimborn?
He got a 14 without using a dice.
That's fine. That's more than you need to get to Bree. When you get to Bree, you think that they knew that you were coming. There is a huge festival going on in the town. Lots of drinking, a lot of arm wrestling, a lot of singing and dancing, a lot of games.
Then we sing and dance and play games.
I'm going to ask somebody, what's going on?
It's the Midsummer Festival, where things have been very prosperous here, very good with the farming, and so we're letting our hair down and having a good time.
Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Huzzah.
Where are they serving the wine?
Where aren't they serving the wine? And several hobbits come up to you and give you wine.
Oh, thank you, friends.
No, thank you.
I have a dwarven friend over here. I'm sure that's going to want also, so don't miss him.
Oh, we smell him. I mean, see him.
Gentlemen, do you have any old Toby to smoke or anything?
Do we have any old Toby? Do we have any old Toby? Do we have any old Toby?
You have old Toby?
We have
It's
old
been
Toby.
Many a while, many a long month since I've had a good smoke.
Sure, they'll sell you some.
We've been sharing our stores with the people of the free people of Middle Earth, and they are enjoying it greatly. And we need to replenish our stores before we head out on this journey.
Oh yeah.
Oh, do you work for the Easterly Inn?
What's that?
Do you work for the Easterly Inn? Because of them, we've been shipping a lot of old Toby out over the mountains.
Wonderful. I sing them the song of the yellow perch and the gardening song of the whatever it was of the brandy bucks or
Cool.
that type of thing.
Make a song, Ro.
12. I routinely roll really poorly on songs. I don't know why that is. Out of game, I can write rap now, but I can't roll well. So.
What are you gonna do, Lorth?
I'm gonna buy some weed and have a smoke.
Okay. Holefoot, he sells you. Mungo delivers it to you.
Alright, can I do an awareness check to make sure it's the real thing?
Sure.
Not that I'm going to, but I'll roll it in between my fingers and stuff. They wouldn't respect me if I didn't say nice, you know.
Or if you have the smoking feature, then
Yes, I do.
then you can just
17.
declare that.
Yeah, I do. I have smoking.
Then you don't even need a roll. You just declare it.
And it's good?
You declare it, and it's successful.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, it's the real thing, and they respect your procedures and methodology.
This is fine stuff.
Oh, it sure is, Mungo says.
It's been long since I've had.
Sit down and have a smoke with us.
I would love to.
Make an awareness roll.
Oh. Instead of the lovely roll that I just made before when I didn't need it, I rolled an Eye of Sauron.
You feel somebody falling asleep on your shoulder.
Cool.
You look over, and it's the guard who's in charge of the tax box, who's been collecting the money from the festival. He seems asleep and is fallen over onto you.
I wake him up.
The constable comes over to you and goes, what's going on here?
This guard is falling asleep, and unfortunately, he doesn't seem to know that I'm not a pillow.
This is Constable Willibald. He's a hobbit.
Well, he...
Well, it seems that, and he points at his neck, and where there's a prick on his neck, and says that he was drugged. And he goes, "Where's the tax coffers? Big box with a lock on it, where all the money that we've collected from the festival is kept, that he was in charge of."
I did not know that. We were just sitting down to a smoke, my friend and I, and he fell asleep on us.
Mungo goes, yeah, I can testify to that. I can provide witness to that. And he goes, okay, but all our money is gone.
Gone? Was he carrying it around with him?
No,
That
he was
seems
sitting
an
right here, Guardian. This was his station right here.
Perhaps you should guard anyone from leaving until it can be found.
He runs around, begins gathering constables. The rest of you realize something is wrong, and it seems that Lorith is in the middle of it. What do you do?
I approach.
I'm going to wander over, see what's going on.
I head over as well.
I am bold and lordly as I approach.
There, Lorith is sitting there smoking some Otobi.
Well,
And there's an unconscious government official asleep on the ground next to her.
Can I
Did they
try to
choose-
examine the government official, gain some insight?
Sure. What are you looking for?
I guess how he might have been drugged.
Sure, insight.
11 with a Tengu.
It looks like there's an obvious mark on his neck where he got pricked. So it looks like somebody had poison on the edge of a needle and pricked him on it, and he passed out.
I use a heal check on him to try and get him revived.
Sure.
So that's a Tengu, 11, 4, 15 with the Tengu.
You bring him round. He's like, "What happened?"
You need to tell us what happened.
I was sitting on the coffers, and next I felt a little pain in my neck, and next thing I know, I'm looking up at a dwarf.
You've lost your coffers.
I've lost the coffers.
It appears someone has made off with it. You fell asleep on my shoulder and drooled on my armor.
This caper smacks of Connor and Aowick.
What were those
That's
names
right.
that you said again?
Don't you guys have, some very nefarious bandits who are operating in this area?
Yeah, Cormac and Aowick.
Yeah. That's it, Cormac.
Funny that do they look like? Do these people look familiar? And they show them to the government official. Goes, yeah, I think I saw them over there, pointing not too far away from where he was sitting. And the constable Willibald goes, please get our money back. It's all the money that we've gained from this festival.
I'm gonna try and pick up the track over by where he was. Pick up the track.
Okay.
The hunting roll, right? Well, there's a Gandalf. And 10.
Yeah, you find the tracks
And where are they leading?
southwest,
Which is...
the Barrow Downs.
I talked to the constables. Told them the tracks of these thieves are leading down to where I've heard from other of my kinsmen that their hideout is.
Will you pursue? We'll give you a reward.
We're making our way towards there in any case. I will talk to my comrades and see if we can do what we can, but you may want to send a couple after us. Not tell them not to go all the way, but to make sure that the trail it doesn't run cold.
We'll do so.
Good trackers.
We'll do so.
And
we have some good hounds.
You'll want to make sure that their picture is well known, and so that even if they come again in disguise, you won't be taken in.
That's a good idea.
Perhaps you could post it somewhere that everyone goes to, like the
well,
post office.
Or the Prancing Pony.
That's a good place. Okay, so I go back and I talk to the to the fellowship. The tracks are leading down. The tracks of these thieves are leading down to the barrows. We were going near there anyway. They've asked if we would track them and get back the coffers, and they offered a reward.
Definitely yes. An opportunity to go exploring the Barrow Downs and apprehending some criminals? Yeah.
Obviously, you've never been to the Barrow Downs before.
Sounds like a great... no, I've never been there. Sounds like a great, exciting adventure, though.
Perfectly clear.
How bad could it be?
Well, we could all become undead and be servants of the shadow for the rest of our unnatural eternal lives.
But there's got to be an upside, though, right?
It might not happen.
What are the nice parts of the Barrow Downs like?
Yeah, that might not happen. That's
good, though.
What's my thing?
What are you saying, Mike?
Treasure might be.
Oh, yeah, treasure.
Treasure.
Yeah, well, that's true. Though you don't really want to take too much treasure from the barrels. But still.
Rings and clinking things that occur amongst them when you scare them coming.
Yeah,
Well, if these cunning varlets are able to make their home in the Barrow Downs, no doubt the clever fellowship like ourselves should be able to outwit them. I have no fear. Let us go to the Barrow Downs.
I like this guy puts a more positive ring into.
let's go to the Barrow Downs. Is it anything like Batavia Downs? No, they don't race horses there. Okay.
Make a lore roll, everybody, for figuring out the path that you're going to be following.
Only one with 2 tangoes.
What time is it, dear?
22 with 1
And 27.
So we have to go.
18 with 1 Tengu.
Okay. Up to 5 points.
20.
20. That's a point. Mike, what you get?
22 with 1 Tengu.
And 2 points for you. So a travel roll for your trip through the Barrow Downs.
Okay, I'm definitely going to use one of the...
This is and also you're going to have to make a corruption test in that make a wisdom lore in that this is a horrible, horrible place.
This place is not like I thought it was going to be.
Well, that's what I was saying, yeah. Just try to think about it. First.
I forgot something that I did. Oh, yeah, it was another awareness.
Elbert has travel using one of his
Okay. That's no problem. And make a wisdom saving throw.
So we just get another dice for this, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Make a wisdom roll.
15.
15. You made it.
17 with his Tengu.
Excellent. Make a wisdom roll to avoid taking shadow points. That's off to the bottom right-hand corner.
Right. Okay, it's 3. So I go 3 and the thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is 22 with a Tengu.
Excellent. Thor, what'd you get?
So my travel roll, I got 2 Tengu was a 22.
Excellent.
And I got a, for my wisdom save, I got a Tengu with a total of 26.
Excellent. You suffer no ill effects traveling through this wasteland. Sigurd?
I rolled an 18 for my travel roll using 1 die. Using
Okay.
an additional die.
Nice.
Yeah, I did use that too.
Okay.
And my wisdom roll was an 8.
Oh, you gain a point of shadow.
No!
Long shadows reach from the eastern border of the old forest to clutch at the fog-shrouded hills known in Sindarin as Tirn Gorthad, and to the men of Bree simply as the Barrow Downs. Rolling mounds of earth rise and fall, catching clouds of mist in their small valleys. Many of these mounds have upon their crest large stones that hint at the greater structures that once stood upon them. These ancient landmarks may have been monuments to noble kings of old, but time and shadow have not been kind to the Barrow Downs, and long ages of rain and harsh weather have shaped them into unnatural monoliths, whose true purpose is forgotten. Make a hunting roll, everybody. Excellent.
I got a big 6.
5, damn it.
Got an 8.
Okay.
Okay, Sigurd is a little too lost in his own gloom as he's suffering a bout of why am I here?
15.
15. So, Thor, what did you get?
A big 6.
Big 6. Ella Brimborn and Lorith lead the way and find the footprints leading to the base of a hill. And then the footprints turn into drag marks leading up the hill toward a monolith. Sigurd, with your old lore roll, you recognize this as the tomb of Valindu, the 4th son of Isildur, and his queen Findalis. And that's where we will leave it for tonight.
Holy crap.
Alright.
There are 3 points of hope that you guys can distribute amongst yourselves.
I don't need any. After the fellowship, I cleared mine.
Yep.
Well, I'm down to
Alright.
6, but somebody else is worse off than me, too.
I am still at maximum hope, so.
I'm down 3.
Is it okay? Would you like to take 2 and give Lorith 1?
I'll be happy with 1 more. Then I'm at half hope, so that's not bad.
Cool. So,
You can take 2. You need more hope.
you can take 2 if you need more.
Yeah, or take all 3, really.
No,
Lorith will just take 2.
I'll take 2.
Alright.
That's fine. That puts me up to 8, and that's... No.
Well, did we get 1 extra for our companions?
Yes, 1 each because nobody's companion got a wound or died in this session.
Can I give my 1 over to the group?
No, it's
No.
a personal one that you get first for your connection. So, according to my calendar, the next game is the 5th of August. Does that work for everybody?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yes, sir.
Garrett, you'll write it on the calendar.
I will write it on the calendar.